can I welcome you here to number 10. I'm very pleased that we're able to hold our first bilateral here, which gives me an opportunity to express our feeling in the UK about the continued importance of NATO, cornerstone of the UK wants to remain a cornerstone of the alliance. We very much believe in the alliance and our contribution to it. I think as we look at Russia in the face of Russian aggression, I mean, of course, here in the UK we're committed to our 2% of GDP being spent on defence. As you know, we're contributing troops to defence of Eastern Europe through the NATO operations, and our commitment is significant in all of these issues, and we've agreed to maintain our independent nuclear deterrent. Yeah. We did that vote earlier in the year. But one of the things I'm looking forward to talking to you about is the need for us to recognise new threats as they emerge, and cyber capability, yes, I think, is one of those that we need to address. But it's very good to see you here and to be able to reaffirm our commitment to NATO and the important role that we believe that NATO plays in maintaining our security.
Thank you so much, Prime Minister, and let me start by thanking you for your personal leadership and also for the very strong commitment and the enduring commitment by the United Kingdom to NATO and to the transatlantic bond. And you show that in so many different ways, not least by spending more than 2% on defence, more than 2% of GDP on defence. And by doing so, you lead by example. And it's good to see that other allies are now following you, and they have started to increase defence spending. They still have a long way to go, but at least they're starting to move in the right direction. And more defence spending in Europe is important for the transatlantic bond, for fairer burden sharing between Europe and the United States. And it's also an important part of the way we adapt NATO to a more demanding security environment. And I would also like to commend the United Kingdom for the way you are contributing to that adaptation of NATO, leading one of our battalions, battle groups in the Baltic countries, in Estonia. You will lead one of the High Readiness Joint Task Force next year. And the key role you, for instance, play when it comes to modernizing and strengthening our cyber defenses. I would also like to point at the key role UK plays when it comes to the fight against terrorism and stabilizing our neighborhood. We are together in Afghanistan. We are together in Iraq. UK plays a key role in the coalition fighting ISIL. And UK participate in NATO missions and activities in the Aegean Sea, yes, cutting the lines of illegal trafficking, human trafficking, and also in Mediterranean. So UK is really a staunch ally, and I look forward to discuss our cooperation in our meeting now. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
So first of all, we had a very good meeting, Prime Minister Theresa May and I, and we discussed many different issues. And I commended the UK for its strong and enduring commitment to NATO, to the transatlantic bond. And I also pointed out that UK shows its commitment to NATO in so many different ways. Especially by spending more than 2% on defence, more than 2% of GDP on defence, and by doing so the UK is leading by example. And the good thing is to note that other allies have started to follow the UK, because defence spending in Europe among European NATO allies have started to increase. That is important because increased investments in our defence is one important element in our response to a more dangerous security environment. And that's something I welcome. And I also welcomed the many other contributions of the UK to NATO. The UK will lead our High Readiness Joint Task Force next year, and the UK will also be leading one of the battle groups we are going to deploy to the Baltic countries from this summer. Then we also underlined the importance of the transatlantic bond, and she confirmed the message from President-elect Trump, the message President-elect Trump also conveyed to me in the phone call I had with him on Friday, and that is that the United States will remain committed to NATO, to the transatlantic bond, and to the security guarantees for Europe. So I look forward to working with President-elect Trump, and I also look forward to welcoming him to our summit in Brussels next year. That will provide us with a good platform to show unity and to reiterate the strong commitment of all NATO allies to defend each other.